Yo! Yo. This is Tri-Vegas coming at you. Every good home cook needs knives. So, I'm over at Adam's house. He's going to give us a little rundown of some essentials and why we should have them in our house.
You might know me from my other works of First Triathlon Hell.
Okay.
Buy these, go. Alright. So, basically, we've got a couple of knives here for the home cook. What you want to do is you want to get, if you can buy 3 quality knives and a quality peeler, you're probably going to be pretty good for most of your needs as a home cook. Most important knife that you're going to need a chef's knife. This is a model by Shun. This is an 8-inch chef's knife. I like Shun. I tend to like the Japanese knives a little bit better. Most people are used to German knives. German knives are generally heavier, thicker, and a little bit more robust. You'll see them, Henkel's and a couple other brands out there. I used to really like them, but, if you've never used a Japanese knife, check them out. They're really cool. They're light, they're affordable, they're very easy to sharpen, which is great for the home cook. A lot easier to sharpen than a thick German knife. Another type of chef's knife you'll find out there, this one's by Mac, another great company. You'll see that has some scallop edges. It's called a Granton edge. Basically, it helps reduce friction and sticking. So if you're like cutting through a potato and had the potato stick to the blade, this kind of eliminates some of that friction, and you won't have to like peel off a potato off the side of the blade, cut yourself in the process. Both are really good options for home use. Another thing you're going to want a bread knife. Nice serrated edge. Bread knives are pretty universal. They're all kind of the bread knife that I've been using at work professionally for the last 15 years is the one I got at culinary school. It still works just fine, although it is starting to wear down a little bit, but that's after 15 years of professional experience. So get yourself a decent quality bread knife. This one, as you can see, has a straight handle. Only differences you're going to see in bread knives is occasionally you'll see one with an offset handle, so it gives you a little bit more clearance where your knuckles are. So if you're trying to cut on a cutting board, tend to hit your knuckles a little bit. If you're cutting off the edge of the cutting board, you're not going to have a problem with a straight edge knife. Some people just like the offset. Go with that if you think that's something good. Otherwise, they're all pretty much the same. Other thing you're going to need a paring knife. This one's a cheap little $5 one that I got this picked up at the store. They're great. They're easy to sharpen. You can certainly get a nicer one. But this is going to be used for a lot of your small tasks. You can even use this to break down chickens and stuff. You don't really need a boning knife for most of what you're going to do. You can pretty much get away with a chef's knife and a paring knife for most of your needs. As far as slicing, things like roasts, do you need a slicer? Do you need a carving knife? I don't personally think so. I use a chef's knife for a lot of those things, but you can certainly go out and buy them. But today we're really just focusing on the essentials. My absolute favorite kitchen tool has got to be this cheap $3 European style peeler. You've probably seen a lot of peelers that have a straight handle, have the peeler on the end, and you kind of take an object like a potato and you just kind of hack at it until you go around, then you got to turn it over, then you got to flip it around. It takes a long time. You get one of these, $3, pretty much anywhere Williams-Sonoma or the top, and you can hold the potato in one hand and you can just peel around. You're going to peel top to bottom the whole time, and it's going to make your life a whole lot easier. Honing steel. Basically, this is not used for sharpening. This is used for honing. There's a difference. Sharpening, you're actually going to take away metal off the blade to give yourself a nice base, and eventually you'll actually sharpen the knife. Honing steels, and anything that looks like this is a honing steel, even if it says sharpening steel. Basically, this is going to bring your knife back into alignment. As you're cooking, you're naturally going to kind of rock to one side, and your blade is going to slowly kind of start to tip over. You hit this, you go on the steel, and it's going to bring that edge right back up into sharp, and it's going to keep your knife sharp a lot longer. Depending on how much you use your knives, probably once or twice a year, you're going to want to have them professionally sharpened. Unless you know how to sharpen a knife, leave it to the pros. The steel, the best way to do it, don't try and be Gordon Ramsay and go out there and start flailing your knife around. You're just going to ruin yourself. And as you can see, how many times I've hit this, you're going to knock your thumb a couple times. Stick it straight down. Take your knife, 15-degree angle, put it up against the side of the steel. Swipe down. Other side, 15 degrees. Swipe down. Down, 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 down. 10 times max, 10, 12 times.
I think that's some great info. You go to, the non-professional, and they got some great tasty food, but man, they got
The worst knives ever.
the worst knives.
Keep your knives
I guess for Adam, we're out of here.